There's a hymn in the old Lloyd hymnal that I want to try to sing this morning. It's number 96. And we trust that the reason we post these hymns and spiritual songs, the only reason, the only motivating factor we trust is that it would redound to the glory of God. And that his little sheep and lambs, his children, would in some way and in some measure be benefited by it. That their pure minds might be stirred up by way of remembrance. So when we post these hymns, it's not for the praise of man, neither is it for the approval of man. So with that being said, number 96 in the Lloyd hymn. Pray God, though from myself concealed, thou seest my inward frame. To thee I always stand revealed, exactly as I am. Since therefore I can hardly bear what in myself I see, how vile and black must I appear, most holy God, to thee. Oh, but here's the hope of a child of grace right here. But since my Savior stands between, and garments dyed in blood, 'tis he instead of me is seen, when I approach to God. Thus though a sinner I am safe, he pleads before the throne, his life and death in my behalf, and calls my sins his own. What wondrous love, what mysteries in this appointment shine. My breeches of league law are his, and his obedience mine. Brethren, that's shouting ground as far as I'm concerned. To know the breaches of the law, my breaches of the law, my sins and my iniquities became his, cause he became sin for us who knew no sin. And the Father laid on him the iniquity of us all. Yes, they became his, though he did no sin, neither was dishonesty found in his mouth. Yet in the eyes of justice, he satisfied divine justice, did he not? Yes, he was made of a woman made under the law. He became sin for us who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. And as I made blessed, however you want to say it, to see that my breaches of the law are his. But now listen how beautiful this is. But his obedience is mine. Why, yes, the only obedience that's worth the hill of beans is the obedience, the perfect, spotless obedience of the Son of God. And I want you to know the imputed righteousness of Christ. Oh, how sweet the sound of that. Yes, his righteousness, his obedience imputed to the child freely because it's to the glory of God. It's to the praise of the glory of his grace. Yes, it is. Now listen, he says, my Savior stands between, and garments dyed in blood. 'Tis he instead of me is seen when I approach to God. Bless your soul, yes, that is to me shouting ground to know that I in Adam the first, yes, I'm black. How black and vile. If I'm that black and vile, black, I'm not talking about race. There I'm talking about as it pertains to sinfulness. If I'm that much in my own eyes, how much more so would I be in the eyes of a just and holy God? And you as well, dear child. But let me tell you, the Savior stands between. He is our go-between. He is the daysman betwixt us and the Father. He is the mediator, and thanks be to God for his mediatorial work. Yes, his finished work. I'm going to tell you, I got to get off here now. We're going to make a little journey down the interstate there to that little meeting house. And we trust and pray the Lord will be with all who listen. Yes, and cause us this day to learn of him. Yes, to learn of his perfect obedience and spotless righteousness. I love you for the Lord's sake.